For many captives, the journey to the coast lasted days or even weeks. They crossed forests, rivers, and unfamiliar paths, not knowing what awaited them.
Welcome back to Time Travel Ghana. Today, we're following one of the historic inland routes
that led toward the coast. For many people, this was the beginning of a long and uncertain journey.
The route was long. It crossed forests, streams, and rivers. Every step carried people farther from the homes they had always known. These journeys often took many days. Along the way, travelers stopped at resting places before continuing toward the coast. Few knew where the road would end. For many, this was the first sight of the Atlantic Ocean. Beyond those waters lay a future they could never have imagined. The road isn't over. Our next stop is a place remembered by generations, a place now known as Assin Manso. I'll meet you there. Thank you for joining me on another journey through time. Today, we followed the historic inland routes toward the coast and discovered how this long journey became part of one of Ghana's most significant chapters. History remembered is history honored. I'm Ama. Until our next journey, stay curious, travelers. Previously, we followed the long journey from inland communities toward the coast. Today, we've arrived at a place remembered by generations, Assin Manso. Welcome back, travelers. This peaceful river is known as Assin Manso. Centuries ago, many captives passed through this place before continuing to the coast. Today, it stands as a memorial, reminding us to remember history with dignity and respect. Historical tradition tells us that many captives paused here to bathe before the final stage of their journey. This place became known as the last bath. For many, it was their final opportunity to wash in fresh water before reaching the coastal castles. Standing here today reminds us that every number in history was a real person with hopes, dreams, and loved ones. They are leaving the river now. Peaceful steps on this narrow path. Their journey continues.
The road became busier as more trading routes joined together.
Villages became less frequent. The sound of the ocean was still far away, but every mile brought the coast closer. The mile.
For many travelers, this was the first time they had ever seen the Atlantic Ocean.
Beyond these waters lay another continent and an uncertain future. And there it is, Cape Coast Castle. One of the largest trading forts on the Gold Coast. Many journeys ended here, and another began. This journey reminds us that history isn't just about places, it's about people. people whose stories deserve to be remembered. Thank you for joining Amma on another journey through time. Today, we followed the final inland route to Assin Manso, remembered as the last bath, and reached the gates of Cape Coast Castle. In our next journey, we'll step inside Cape Coast Castle. We'll discover what historians know about the dungeons and learn how this fortress became one of the most significant sites in the history of the transatlantic slave trade. History remembered is history honored. I'm Amma. Until our next journey, stay curious, travelers. In the next episode, I'm going inside the Cape Coast Castle to uncover its hidden history and the stories of those held here.